Page 207. The truth teaching does not recommend for you to pray to gods and tin gods, or people of your kind, or human beings, because you shall not follow evil cravings that are concocted or hatched/invented by people of your kind, or human beings, so that you shall not be rightly led and go into confusion and serve fabulated or invented gods and tin gods and people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up as gods and tin gods, or as their envoys, or representatives, or substitutes. In all things in your life, refer to the clear evidence of the activity or existence of the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, of its laws and recommendations, and of its appearance or nature, so that you may always see quickly what is the real truth and what is the untruth. You alone have the might to determine or decide what is truth and what is untruth, because you are the assessors of this. Everything that you wish to see and to experience through your determinations or decisions, that is solely in your might. Therefore you shall decide yourselves and do rightfully, so that you are not malefactors or truth deniers with regard to your determinations or decisions and wishes. The key to what is hidden are in you yourselves, and you alone know these keys, because you must open up your inner world or consciousness, so that you find what is hidden from you. And truly, just as everything on the land and in the waters acts or lives according to the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, and as no leaf falls from the tree and no grain starts to grow or sprout/flourishes in the darkness of the earth, and no stalk of grass falls prey to the drought without the action of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, so also nothing prospers in you and cannot be torn out of the darkness of what is hidden if you do not follow your own laws and recommendations regarding the development of your inner world or consciousness. And you shall always know that what you do and create, both in the day and at night, so that you always bring everything to fulfillment, and you can tell people of your kind or fellow human beings what your deeds have been, if they want to know. You, as people of your kind, or human beings, are the highest life form amongst all life forms, and therefore you are your own intercessor or counselor, and the guardians over yourselves, over your thoughts and feelings, and over your doings or deeds, and therefore it remains so until death approaches you, and your spirit body, or spirit form, and your inner world or consciousness escapes your body in order to escape into the impalpable, or realm of the other world, without tarrying, or quickly. Truly, the spirit body, or spirit form, returns to its own world, or sphere/level, of the impalpability in order to be reawakened, or reincarnated/reborn, in a new body of people of your kind, or human beings, at the time of necessity. Truly, you alone protect yourselves and rescue yourselves from the dangers or risks in your existence, such as on the land, on the waters, amongst the rocks or mountains, in the air, in the firmaments or universe, and on the earths or worlds/planets, when you go out everywhere to where you want, because there are none of the fabulated or invented gods and tin gods who can vouchsafe protection for you and rescue you, because whatever is unsubstantial and delusion of the brain can neither help nor rescue nor perform miracles or outstanding things. And consider that even if you secretly call on gods and tin gods and make supplications to them in disparaging submissiveness, or to people of your kind or human beings, who raise themselves up as godheads, or as envoys and representatives, or substitutes of gods and tin gods, then they can bring you neither help nor rescue, because they are fabulated or invented gods and tin gods, or people of your kind, or human beings, and are powerless or incapable. Therefore, any help and rescue in any wise is only provided by yourselves and in your power. Rescue yourselves through your own power from your tribulation and from all things that bring you misery and disaster, because there are neither gods nor tin gods who can liberate you from it, as well as no people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up as gods or tin gods, or as their envoys or representatives or substitutes. Because truly, all power and all support or endeavor lies in you yourselves. And do not assume or regard the true prophets to be gods or tin gods, or that they are their envoys or representatives or substitutes, who shall have might over you, and sit in judgment over you, so that you shall come to the heights or heaven, or to the underworld of the shadows or hell, because truly the prophets are neither judges nor executioners or enforcers, nor are there any heights or heaven in which a godhead or a tin god carries his scepter and keeps a paradise ready for you, neither an underworld of the shadows or hell, in which a devil performs his mischief and burns you, or roasts you, etc., in the fire. Therefore, if you believe in the heights, or heaven, and the underworld of the shadows, or hell, then you will only find both places in yourselves, in your status of the inner world, or consciousness, and in your psyche, and in your attitude, or mentality. And truly, if you believe in the heights or heaven, and the underworld of the shadows or hell, then you are following the delusions of the false prophets, who are giving you fallacious teachings, and are lying to you so that you may split up into godlinesses or religions, and sub-godlinesses or sects/cults. So you are confused, and through false teachings you let others feel acts of Gewalt, and bring them, through coercion, to wage battle or war, to sow hatred, revenge, retaliation, and jealousy and hostility, and to bring about destruction, as well as threats or terror. And guard yourselves against the manifold signs of distortion or deception of the false prophets, so that you do not understand them as the truth, but rather recognize them as lies and slander or calumny. Therefore, do not reject the truth, because only the real truth is truthliness. Therefore you also comprehend, or recognize and know, that the true prophets are not guardians over you, but are only bringers of good news with regard to the truth-teaching and of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation. And therefore they are only warners for you, by pointing out or revealing, as a warning to you, the things of the near and far time to come, or future, which you must improve and therefore change or alter to the good, so that you are not assailed by calamity. The true prophets do not state to you good things that will occur in the near or far time to come, or future, so that you do not act wrongly and do not make good into bad. Therefore the true prophets only reveal to you things of the near and far time to come, or future, which are evil, bad, and disastrous, so that you may strive to regret your wrong activities or deeds, and henceforth do everything rightfully, so that the prophecy will not fulfill. Truly, a certain time is set for every prophecy, at which point it will be fulfilled, when you do not do your best to avert the evil, the bad, the disastrous. So you or your descendants or children's children, etc., will experience that the true prophets rightfully foresee when they name things of the near and far time to come, or future. And consider, you are not to equate a prophecy of the true prophets with a prediction that the true prophets use for announcing to you things of the near and far time to come or future, which are sealed or unavoidable, and which you can do nothing to change. And those amongst you who talk foolishly about the prophecies, and about the prediction, and the explanations of the true prophets, you bear the blame if the prophetic words of the prophets come true, because you mislead yourselves and people of your kind, or fellow human beings, not to listen to the discerning words of the true prophets, so that you all together continue acting unrightfully and suggestively, and forcefully bring about the evil, the bad, and the disastrous, which the prophets proclaim or announce. And those amongst you who listen to the words of those who mock the true prophets and their prophecies and predictions, turn yourselves away from them until they talk about something else, and conduct a discussion of true discernment or rationality. And should the false prophets with their delusional teachings make you forget this, then do not sit together with the mockers and slanderers or calumniators of the true prophets after remembering again, so that you do not find yourselves in difficulties with the truth through them. Be at all times righteous ones, or conscientious ones, and fair ones, or responsible ones, and ever, or always, bear your obligation or responsibility, so that you may take the way of the truth, of equitableness or fairness, and of virtue, so true love may fill you, and peace and freedom may grow in your inner world or consciousness, so that consonance or harmony may prevail in you and in your psyche, and you may altogether carry out all these exceptional or unusual comprehensions or capabilities in order to instruct people of your kind, or fellow human beings. Those amongst you who are connected to the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the Spirit, the teaching of the life, remain amongst yourselves, and leave those alone who only take the teaching as a game and a pastime, and are infatuated by the earthly life, but admonish them, so that they do not fall more and more victim to Ausartung, through what they are doing, which is of unright and of unfairness, or irresponsibility, because except for you, they have neither helpers nor intercessors or counselors, unless they turn to the truth teaching, and take it in, or learn it. And truly, if they offer you a ransom or bribe, in order to liberate them from their truth unknowledge, and from their inequity or unfairness, as well as from their unaccountability or irresponsibility, and virtuelessness, because they are of the belief that you might be able to take their blame off them, and make them into ones knowing of the truth, then do not accept it, because it would be unrightful, since you do not have the might to satisfy their wishes and hopes. If they do not liberate themselves from their untruth and inequity or unfairness, as well as unrighteousness or consciencelessness, by learning from the truth teaching, then they are in themselves abandoned to ruin for their own actions of evil and of the terrible things. So they feel the pain in themselves, as if they had taken a gulp of boiling water, and thereby inflict a painful punishment on themselves, because they are turning away from the truth. Truly, if you call upon gods and tin gods, or people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up as gods, none of whom are able either to benefit you or harm you, then you are taking the wrong way. Therefore you shall turn around on your heels, or turn away from your false belief, so that you rescue yourselves from all evil, and from everything terrible, and quickly leave it behind. Do not allow yourselves to be lured away from the truth through evil and falsehood, which you call the devil, so that you do not fall into confusion, but heed or search out companions in the country who will call you to right leadership or guidance, and will show or reveal to you the way to the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the Spirit, to the teaching of the life, so that you may adopt the right leadership or guidance over yourselves, as is recommended to you through the truth teaching, as you dedicate yourselves to your own true discernment or intellect, and create in yourselves peace and love, as well as freedom and consonance or harmony. You are recommended to be trustful in yourselves and confident that you can master from your own power whatever you touch or approach, because only in yourselves is all the power to act, or energy, given that you always build up when you tackle or undertake anything. The primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation is truly the sole great wisdom or creation. It itself is the truth, the one which created the firmaments or universe, and earths or worlds/planets, and the heavenly lights or celestial bodies, and therefore it is the all-timely living one, or being, since the days when it created everything, and it will remain the all-timely living one, or being, until the day when it once again lies in slumber, in order to reawaken, or become existent once again, at its time, which is determined to it in the greatness of time, or all great time. And truly, the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation is solely the bearer and knower of all concealments, and for people of your kind, or human beings, it is the unmeasurable secret, or the unfathomable/inscrutable, no matter how all-knowing you may be. And since only the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation is the truth of all truth, and is the unmeasurable secret, or the unfathomable/inscrutable, so you are not able to make any illusions of it, as you cannot set any gods and tin gods next to it, or people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up over you as gods or tin gods. Therefore, however, if you think differently, and if you turn to other things, like the false teachings of the false prophets, then you are living in obvious confusion. Raise your eyes, and let your eyes wander about, over the firmaments, or universe, over the heavenly lights, or celestial bodies, and over your earth, so that you see what the truth of the reality is that cannot be created by people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up as gods or tin gods, and neither by gods and tin gods, all of whom are only fantasies of invented hazy pictures or delusions. Keep yourselves far away from the fabulations or inventions of false prophets, who present illusions to you that are far from the truth and reality, so that you may count yourselves amongst the firm ones, or strong ones, in the knowledge of the truth. And if the night overshadows you, or if you are befallen by unknowledge, then look for a light, or knowledge, which rises in you, so that you do not founder in the darkness of the night, or in unknowledge. And if you see the moon rise, or how knowledge is unfolding, spreading out its light, or knowledge, then follow the light, or expand the knowledge, so that it no longer sets, or no longer disappears. So you are rightly led, and are not amongst those who have gone astray. And if you see the sun rise, or great knowledge, spreading out its beams, or wisdom, then it is the greatest thing that you can achieve, and from which you form your unfolding, or evolution, which no longer sets once you have created it in yourselves. Truly, if you have created radiation, or wisdom, and unfolding, or evolution, in yourselves, then you have no part or blame in whatever the ones unknowing of the truth, and unfair ones, or irresponsible ones, the unrighteous ones, or conscienceless ones, and virtueless ones, have done of evil and of terribleness of all kinds, just as you also have no part or blame if they place fabulated or invented gods and tin gods next to the primal wellspring of all vitalities, or creation, or people of your kind, or human beings, who raise themselves up as gods or tin gods, or their envoys or representatives or substitutes. Look and turn your face to the truth, to the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, which alone is the truth of all truth, and alone the greatness of wisdom, or creation, because it is the sole might over everything that exists in the firmaments, or universe, and on the earths, or worlds/planets, as well as in the lights of the sky, or firmament. Therefore, you may recognize, or see, this truth, and be upright in your knowledge of it, so that you rely solely upon the truth, and do not place any gods or tin gods next to the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, and also no people of your kind, or human beings, because all of these are powerless or incapable, and cannot bring forth or create any life. And whether you are a clan or family, people who live nearby or neighbors, friends, companions, followers or acquaintances, or a people of several peoples, then do not fight with one another, but be fair amongst one another, and lead yourselves fairly, so that love and peace be amongst all, as well as freedom and consonance or harmony, so that you are rightly led. And do not fear those who wish to sow ill blood, discord, and strife amongst you. Rather stand at their side with good words, and instruct or teach them in peace, in equitableness or fairness, and in righteousness or conscientiousness, and in all things of the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, so that they may follow the right way and refrain from their terrible doings. But be peaceful to them, and do not foment hatred and unlove or revenge and retaliation in yourselves against them, because they are people of your kind, or human beings, and require instruction and good leadership or guidance. Therefore, you shall not fear those either who set gods and tin gods, or people of your kind or human beings, next to the primal wellspring of all vitalities or creation, who believe themselves to be gods, because you have the authority to instruct them through the truth, so that they may become thinking and knowing in the truth, and may find their right and their safety in the truth.